The frozen planet of Wythera Prime was a place where even light seemed afraid to stay. Storms howled across white deserts, and sharp blue lightning cracked through the endless cold sky. For thousands of years, the galaxy's greatest minds had come here chasing one secret: the alien seal, a smooth, living door carved into the side of a black mountain. It had no handle, no lock, no keyhole. Yet everyone knew it led somewhere. And no one had ever opened it. Whole expeditions vanished trying. Machines melted. Warriors were torn apart by invisible forces. The door was called the Orifice of Silence. Some said it was a weapon. Others whispered it was alive. But no one had ever made it move. Until the day a human came. His name was Eli Mercer, a field engineer from Earth, not a soldier, not a scientist, just a man who fixed things that refused to work. His brown coat was torn from travel, and his hands were rough from metal and frost. He didn't look like much beside the tall, shimmering aliens of the Thrian expedition, with their silver eyes and elegant armor. But the Thrians had failed 100 times, and their leader, Commander Rahl, was desperate. "We have tried every code, every chant," Rahl said, his voice cold like wind. "The seal mocks us. You, human, if your machines can touch it without dying, I will give you safe passage off this cursed world." Elijah smiled. "Guess I'll give it a look." The aliens watched with amusement. To them, humans were young, reckless children of a blue planet, always curious, always uninvited. The seal towered before him, taller than any building, smooth and shining like black glass mixed with breath. Strange markings flowed across it like water, symbols that moved, changed, and vanished. As Eli stepped closer, the air grew heavy, humming softly like a giant heartbeat. He placed his glove on the surface. Nothing happened. He frowned, removed the glove, and touched it with bare fingers. The surface felt warm. Then something pulsed beneath his skin, a faint vibration, like the door was listening. A single line of light raced across it, forming strange shapes. The aliens gasped. "It reacts to him," one shouted. Commander Rahl's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. The seal rejects all life." But the light continued to grow, tracing spirals that looked almost human. Eli pulled his hand back, but the seal did not let go. The black surface stretched like soft glass, gripping his palm, glowing brighter. He felt something pressing into his mind, a whisper, soft and old. A voice not from this world. "Human, you came back." Eli stumbled backward, heart pounding. "What the hell?" The aliens raised their weapons, energy blades humming. "Step away, human." But the seal was already changing. The smooth wall rippled like water, then froze again, this time with a clear shape burned into it, a handprint. Eli's handprint. Rahl's second-in-command hissed in fear. "That is not science, Commander. That is recognition." The air turned colder. A wind blew through the valley that hadn't moved in centuries. Even the mountains seemed to groan. Eli felt dizzy. His fingertips glowed faintly, veins shimmering with silver light. "I didn't do anything," he said softly. It touched me first." Rahl took a step closer, his tall frame trembling with both anger and fear. "What are you?" "Just human," Eli said. "Just me." "Nothing about this is just," Rahl snapped. "The Orifice of Silence was built by the first minds, before your species ever left its cradle. How could it respond to you?" Eli stared at his handprint on the wall. The symbols around it were shifting, forming a pattern that looked like... He blinked. It looked like DNA. And not alien DNA. Human. Suddenly the ground quaked. The seal released a deep sound, like metal bending and thunder breathing at the same time. The alien crew fell to their knees, covering their ears. Eli stood frozen, staring at the wall as new words began to appear in glowing blue light. "The key has returned." The seal pulsed once more and went dark. The storm outside stopped. The world fell silent. Later that night, inside the camp dome, the aliens whispered among themselves. Some wanted to kill Eli. Others wanted to worship him. Commander Rahl watched from afar, his face unreadable. "The orifice opened to no one," he said quietly. "Now it breathes because of a human. If this news reaches the Empire, Chaos will follow. Eli sat by the heater, staring at his glowing hand. I don't want your chaos, he muttered. I just want to know why it knows me. Outside, the mountain pulsed faintly in the dark, as if waiting for him to return. Snow still fell outside the mountain, but inside the camp, no one slept. The aliens sat in circles, speaking in low voices. Their silver eyes flicked toward Eli Mercer whenever the fire cracked. They didn't trust him, the man who had made the impossible door breathe. Commander Rahl stood by the glass window, watching the black mountain pulse faintly with light. Every reading says the seal is awake, murmured his science officer. Rahl's voice was flat. It is not awake. It's listening. And far away, within the mountain, something was listening. At dawn, Eli woke with a start. He had heard his name. Not through air, not through sound, but inside his skull. Eli Mercer, come back. He sat up, heart pounding. Around him, alien guards slept with weapons on their laps. The wind moaned outside, but the voice felt different, close, soft, almost human. He pressed a hand to his ear. Who's there? No answer, only the faint echo of his own breath. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was waiting for him inside the mountain. By the time the second sun rose, the seal was glowing again. Lines of light pulsed across its surface like veins under skin. The aliens refused to approach. Rahl turned to Eli. It calls for you. You hear it, don't you? Eli hesitated, then nodded. Yeah. It knows my name. Rahl's expression darkened. The first minds built this door to protect what lies within, from us, from all life. If it recognizes you, that means your kind was part of their design. Eli frowned. My kind? Humans didn't even have ships back then. Rahl looked away. Perhaps you forgot what you once were. Before Eli could answer, the ground shuddered. A blast of blue light shot from the seal and struck the snow, melting a perfect circle around the entrance. The sound that followed wasn't thunder. It was breathing. Without thinking, Eli stepped forward. The air thickened, pressing on his chest. His breath steamed in the cold as the symbols rearranged again, forming words in a language he didn't know yet somehow understood. Enter, key bearer. The aliens backed away, shouting warnings. But the seal split down the middle with a sound like a sigh. Warm, golden vapor poured out, smelling faintly of metal and rain. Eli raised his hand. The glowing mark on his palm shimmered, matching the rhythm of the light. Rahl barked, Stop! You could wake a weapon. Eli whispered, Then why does it sound like a heartbeat? And he stepped inside. The tunnel beyond was alive. Walls of soft, translucent flesh pulsed with gentle light, veins carrying silver liquid through them. The ground beneath his boots felt elastic, not stone, not metal, but something in between. Every step he took, the walls brightened. Every breath he drew, the air grew warmer, heavier. He could feel the pulse syncing with his own heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. Then he heard it again. A whisper, clearer this time, closer. Eli Mercer. You came home. He froze. The voice sounded human. Female. How do you know my name? He asked softly. Because you gave it to me. A chill ran through him. What do you mean? No reply. Only the hum of the living tunnel. But now the walls began shifting, forming shapes, faces, hands, symbols. He reached out and touched one, and saw a memory that wasn't his own. A vision burst into his mind. A human ship landing here long ago, old, ancient, breaking apart in flame. Men and women stepping out, wounded, desperate, guided by golden-eyed beings who called themselves the Minders. Together, they built something, a seal, a chamber, a promise. Then, betrayal. The humans disappeared, erased from record, while the aliens sealed the chamber with their blood. The vision ended. Eli stumbled, clutching his head. His eyes watered from the light. What is this place? He gasped. A memory of what you were, the voice said gently. And what you could be again. Outside, Commander Rahl's sensors screamed. Energy levels rose beyond measure. He shouted to his team, his inside the orifice. The readings, They're rewriting themselves. One of his scientists whispered, "Commander, it's rewriting our language into human." Raoul stared in disbelief. Then we were never the first. Deep within, Eli reached the end of the tunnel. A great chamber opened before him, a dome of light and liquid metal, with a massive cocoon suspended in the air. Inside it floated a shape, a woman made of light and machinery, her face peaceful, her hair like silver fire. Eli felt tears sting his eyes. He didn't know her, yet his heart ached like he did. "You are the last of their children," the voice whispered. "And I have waited so long." The cocoon brightened. Her eyes began to open. Outside, the mountain roared. The aliens fell to the ground as blue light burst through the cracks of the seal. Commander Raoul screamed over the wind, "What did you awaken, human?" Inside, Eli stood trembling as the cocoon slowly opened and the glowing figure spoke his name again, not with fear, not with anger, but with recognition. "Welcome home, Eli Mercer." A close-up cinematic shot of a beautiful young alien woman with luminous emerald green skin and glowing orange-red hair, lying on a futuristic white bed. The camera slowly moves from her collarbone to her face as her eyes open wide in shock. Her metallic collar glows bright blue with the word "unlock," flickering with tiny sparks of energy. Soft bioluminescent alien runes pulse on her skin. The lighting is atmospheric, a mix of teal, cyan, and golden hues, casting dramatic reflections across her features. Her breathing quickens. The camera captures subtle skin texture, realistic eye moisture, and fine hair movement as air currents ripple around her. Background softly blurs with a cinematic depth of field. The lens flares and HDR lighting enhance realism. The tone feels emotional and mysterious, like a high-budget sci-fi movie scene where an alien prisoner awakens to an unknown power. Ultra-realistic skin, volumetric light, smooth motion, natural camera shake, depth of field focus transitions, photorealistic 8K detail, cinematic 16:9 frame, Dolby Vision color tone. The light had faded. But nothing on Wythera Prime felt the same. The Black Mountain was no longer quiet, it breathed. Blue mist drifted from cracks in the stone, humming softly like a living creature. Inside the expedition dome, alien instruments flickered, breaking one by one. Commander Raoul slammed his fist against the console. "Cut power! Everything! It's not machinery, it's waking." The officers obeyed, terrified. Outside, lightning circled the peak in endless spirals, drawn toward the glowing scar on the mountain's side, the Orifice of Silence, now open for the first time in 10,000 years. And inside that glowing wound stood Eli Mercer, the only human on the planet. His body pulsed with soft light beneath his skin, veins etched with golden fire. He stared at his hands. "I can still feel her," he whispered. "Like she's in my head." "I never left," came a calm, echoing voice, not from the air, but from within him. The Guardian had not vanished. She was inside him now, her consciousness woven with his. When Eli spoke, sometimes another voice overlapped his own, soft and ancient. He touched the chamber wall. The metal responded, blooming with light under his palm. Everywhere he walked, the world seemed to listen. He whispered, "What are you?" "I was made to protect," the Guardian answered. "To decide who may enter the core. 4 ages I waited for one pure enough to understand both code and compassion. You are the first." Eli frowned. "I'm just a man with a wrench." "Exactly," she said. "And that is why you were chosen." Outside, Raoul's soldiers prepared weapons. Energy rifles. Pulse grenades. They stared at the growing light from the chamber entrance and muttered prayers to gods they no longer believed in. Raoul activated his comlink. "Human," his voice thundered through the tunnel. "Come out at once. You are tampering with sacred technology." Eli's reply came slow and steady. "It's not sacred. It's alive. And it's trying to help us." Raoul's jaw tightened. "No living weapon helps anyone. Step out, or we open fire." The Guardian's voice whispered inside Eli's mind. "He fears what he cannot command. Do not let them touch the gate." Eli hesitated. "Then what do I do?" "Show them why humans were remembered." He stepped toward the entrance. As he emerged into the cold wind, blue lightning arced behind him, framing his figure in light. The alien soldiers froze. The human's eyes glowed faint gold, strange markings crawled under his skin. Raal lifted his weapon. "You're infected." Eli raised both hands. "No. I'm connected. This place, it was built by both our kinds. It's proof we were never enemies." Raal shouted, "Lies? That thing in you will consume us all." He fired. The plasma bolt streaked toward Eli, but before it hit, the air rippled. A shimmering shield appeared around him, a sphere of energy shaped like a heartbeat. The bolt vanished inside it. The Guardian's voice thundered through the wind. "You strike what protects you." The ground shook. Cracks of white fire spread through the snow. Aliens fell to their knees as a massive projection appeared behind Eli, the Guardian herself, towering over the mountain like a goddess made of light and metal. Raal stumbled back, eyes wide. "By the stars." "You built me," the Guardian said, her voice like a choir. "And then you sealed me away. You feared the truth, that humans and Thrians were one creation." Raal trembled. "That's impossible." "Then look." The Guardian lifted her hand. The air filled with visions, ancient humans and Thrians working side by side, building worlds, sharing technology. Then the betrayal, the war, the sealing of the gate, and the great silence that followed. Eli turned toward Raal. "You erased the truth because you wanted control. But that lie killed everything beautiful between our races." Raal's voice broke. "If that's true, then my ancestors were monsters." Eli stepped closer, his voice gentle. "No. They were afraid. But we can finish what they couldn't." "Open the core," the Guardian whispered to him. "Let the memory breathe." The mountain split. A vast circular platform rose from beneath the snow, etched with symbols of both human and alien origin. In the center, a glowing sphere pulsed, the core of Wythera. Eli approached it slowly. The heat made his breath shimmer in the air. Raal and his soldiers backed away, unsure if they were watching a miracle or an ending. Eli reached out his glowing hand, and the Guardian spoke through him, her voice both human and divine. "For eons, you sealed what you feared. But fear dies where understanding begins." He touched the core. A blinding surge of energy exploded upward, lighting the entire sky. Every ship in orbit lost power for 10 seconds. Every creature on the planet heard the same heartbeat, one pulse, shared across all species. Then silence. When the light faded, the core floated above the ground, open, calm, warm, alive. Eli stood beneath it, his clothes torn, his eyes normal again. The Guardian's voice was softer now. "The gate is open, but the test remains." "What test?" he asked. "Whether humanity will share or conquer." She faded from view, her light returning into him like a whisper of fire. Raal approached slowly, dropping his weapon. His voice shook. "Human, what happens now?" Eli looked up at the stars swirling above the open core. "Now," he said quietly, "we decide what kind of species we want to be remembered as." And behind them, the mountain finally stopped breathing, as if holding its breath for what would come next. The storm above Wythera had ended. But the silence it left behind was even louder. Snowflakes drifted through beams of golden light pouring from the mountain's wound. The core floated quietly at the summit, a sphere of living energy that pulsed like a beating heart. Around it, melted ice glimmered like glass, reflecting the faces of aliens who didn't dare move or breathe. And there, standing before it, was Eli Mercer. Half of him still human, the other half glowing with ancient light. His veins hummed faintly, alive with symbols older than language. He stared at the core, then whispered, "Guardian, what did we unlock?" For a moment, no one answered. Then the light around him bent, forming her figure again, soft, radiant, and sorrowful. "You unlocked memory," she said gently. "And memory is heavier than war." Raal and his soldiers watched in stunned silence. They had come expecting to claim power. Instead, they were seeing truth. Eli turned toward the Guardian. "You said I carried the code. You said humans were part of this world once. Show me." The Guardian's eyes glowed brighter. Then see what your kind has forgotten. She raised her hand, and the core bloomed open like a flower of light. A surge of energy burst out, painting the air with moving images. The sky above them became a window into the past. Eli gasped as he saw Earth, not as it was now, but as it had been thousands of years ago. Great cities of white stone and floating towers. Humans and aliens walking together, laughing, building ships of light. The Guardian's voice echoed like a song. Before history, humans were wanderers among the stars. You were called the Seedmakers. You built worlds with us, the Thrians, the Veil, the Seraphim. Together we wrote life into code and code into flesh. Raal dropped to one knee, trembling. That cannot be true. We were taught humans were created by chance. No, said the Guardian. You were created together. Until greed divided you. The visions darkened. The peaceful cities burned. Ships fired upon each other. Humans turned on their allies. One by one, planets fell silent. When the first human tried to merge with the core, the Guardian continued, his mind broke. His fury turned creation against itself. To stop him, your ancestors sealed the Orifice and erased his name from time. Eli's throat tightened. You're saying a human caused it all? A human, and a fear that never died. The images faded. Only snow remained. Eli fell to his knees, gripping the frozen ground. We were supposed to be builders, not destroyers. The Guardian knelt beside him, her voice softer now. You are both. That is what makes you powerful and dangerous. But you, Eli Mercer, have a choice the first human never had. He looked up. What choice? To forgive the past and open the future. Raal approached slowly, his boots crunching in the frost. He looked at Eli, this fragile being from a small blue world, and for the first time, he bowed his head. Human, he said quietly, if what we saw is true, then everything we built is a lie. My people slaughtered yours to bury the truth. Eli shook his head. It wasn't just your people. My kind would have done the same. Maybe we still do. He stood, facing both Raal and the Guardian. The question isn't who started it. It's who ends it. The Guardian lifted her gaze to the core. Then the test begins. The core pulsed violently, sending waves of light into the sky. Mountains cracked. The ground shivered. A deep voice echoed through the air, not hers, not Eli's, but something older. Only through unity may the wound be closed. Only through sacrifice may the light return. Eli staggered back. What does it want? The Guardian turned toward him, sadness in her eyes. It wants what all creation wants, balance. One must carry the memory. One must pay the cost. Raal's soldiers began to panic as the snow turned to molten glass around them. Raal shouted, Guardian! What cost? A life bound to the core. A mind to keep it awake. Her gaze met Eli's. It chooses you. Eli's heart stopped. You mean, I have to stay here? Not stay, she whispered. Become. He felt warmth spreading through his chest, the same pulse as the core. His veins burned, his vision blurring. Images flashed before him, Earth, oceans, his mother's smile, his first spaceship, all flickering like dying embers. Raal grabbed his arm. No, you can't. Eli smiled weakly. Maybe I was always meant to fix things, one last time. The Guardian placed her glowing hand over his heart. The first human broke the seal in anger. You will open it with kindness. That is what makes you different. Light engulfed them. Eli's body began to dissolve into golden fragments, drifting upward like sparks. He looked at Raal one last time. Tell them, we were here first. And we came in peace. Then he vanished, his light joining the core. The mountains stopped trembling. The storms cleared. And in the silence that followed, the Guardian's voice echoed across the valley. The memory of the first human lives again. The mountain was quiet again. Too quiet. No storms, no thunder, only still air and the faint shimmer of heat rising from melted snow. The core of Wayfarer floated above the crater, pulsing gently like a sleeping heart. And inside it, the light of Eli Mercer was gone, or so it seemed. Commander Rahl stood on the edge of the crater, his armor scorched, his mind heavy. Around him, soldiers of the Thryan expedition stared at the glowing sphere with hollow eyes. Dead, one of them whispered. Rahl didn't answer. He couldn't. He had seen the human's body dissolve, become light itself, just to keep the core alive. He had seen something no one in the galaxy would ever believe. But above them, a faint voice echoed through the still air. He is not dead, only changed. The Guardian appeared once more, her form flickering between light and mist. But her tone was no longer soft. It was sharp. Cold. Like judgment. The human gave what no empire ever could, mercy. And yet your kind still carries the hunger to rule. Rahl took a step forward. Guardian, listen, we didn't mean. Silence. Her voice boomed across the valley. Every soldier dropped their weapon, clutching their ears as the ground trembled. For 10,000 years, your kind worshipped the Orifice as a weapon, not a wound. You sought control, not connection. You are unworthy of the gift he restored. The core flared with light. Blue fire rippled across the mountain, tearing through abandoned ships and melting their metal like wax. The Guardian raised her arms, her eyes burning white. The unworthy shall taste the wrath of memory. In orbit above the planet, Thryan warships prepared to fire. The command fleet had arrived, drawn by the impossible energy readings. From the flagship, Admiral Zer snarled into the comm. Commander Rahl, stand down and retreat. We will destroy the core before it consumes the sector. Rahl's eyes widened. No! There's a human inside, he. Irrelevant, the Admiral snapped. We cannot risk ancient human contagion infecting the Empire. Rahl looked toward the core, glowing brighter every second. He remembered Eli's final words, tell them we came in peace. If the fleet fired, everything Eli died for would vanish. The Guardian sensed it too. Her expression darkened. They come with fear in their hearts. Fear always ends in fire. She raised her hand toward the sky, and the core obeyed. A column of pure light shot upward, piercing the clouds, striking the fleet above. For a brief moment, every ship's system shut down. Engines froze. Weapons melted. Crew screamed as their minds were filled with visions, images of humanity's ancient kindness, their laughter, their pain, their endless curiosity. When the light faded, half the fleet drifted powerless. The rest panicked and fired. Beams of plasma rained down. The mountain exploded with fire. But out of that fire rose something neither alien nor machine. The Guardian's true form, vast, radiant, terrible. Her wings were arcs of lightning. Her body was made of liquid light. And within her chest burned a smaller, golden spark, Eli Mercer's essence, alive and glowing. Her voice shook the heavens. You destroy what you cannot own. You kill what you cannot understand. She unleashed a storm that shattered the clouds. Every shot from the fleet bent away, deflected by invisible force. Whole warships lost control, spinning into orbit, engines dead. Below, Rahl fell to his knees, tears in his eyes. He whispered, "Forgive us." The Guardian looked down at him, her face sorrowful but firm. Forgiveness is not given. It is earned. Then, from within her light, a softer tone emerged, familiar, human. Guardian, stop. Her form trembled. The voice came from the spark within her chest. Eli, she whispered. You're becoming what we tried to end, his voice said. You can't save life by destroying it. Her glow flickered. For the first time, the Guardian looked uncertain. They will never change. Then let me try, Eli said gently. That's why I'm still here. The light dimmed. The thunder faded. The wrath of the stars fell silent. The Guardian descended, landing softly on the mountain's edge. Her massive form dissolved back into the smaller, human-sized shape, still radiant, but calm now. She looked at Rahl. He speaks through me now. He believes your kind can learn. Rahl stood shakily, his eyes full of regret. I will make them understand. I swear it. The Guardian nodded. Then the wrath is over. But the memory remains. She turned toward the core, now pulsing gently with golden light. Inside it, the faint outline of Eli Mercer floated in peace, no longer human, no longer machine, but the bridge between them. "He is the key," she whispered. "The link between what was and what could be." The fleet in orbit stopped their assault. All they could see from space was a calm blue glow spreading over the planet, like the heartbeat of a living world. Raal knelt, bowing his head. "Rest, human. You gave us back our soul." The Guardian closed her eyes, and her voice carried through the wind like a prayer. "May those who once destroyed remember mercy, and may those who were small rise greater than the stars." The world of Wayfarer Prime had changed. The storm clouds were gone, and in their place floated soft ribbons of golden mist, glowing trails that curled across the horizon like the breath of a sleeping god. For the first time in recorded history, the orifice of silence was open. And from its heart, gentle light poured out, not fire, not destruction, but warmth. The mountain that once screamed now hummed softly, alive and peaceful. And beneath its glow, the surviving aliens, warriors, scientists, explorers, stood in awe. At the edge of the crater stood Commander Raal, his silver armor cracked, his voice trembling. He watched the Guardian kneel before the core, her hands folded over her chest as if in prayer. Within the sphere of light floated Eli Mercer, no longer of flesh, no longer bound by gravity. He looked human still, but his body shimmered like sunlight on water, his eyes holding galaxies within them. "He is stable," whispered the Guardian. "His essence merged with the core. He is the core now." Raal took a careful step forward. "Can he hear us?" The Guardian smiled faintly. "He hears everything. Every heartbeat, every voice, even the ones that curse him." Raal swallowed. "And you? What will you do now?" Her gaze softened. "I will wait, as I always have, but no longer in silence." The core pulsed once, as if answering her. Then a voice, warm, human, familiar, rippled through the air. "You don't have to wait alone." The soldiers gasped. Raal froze. The voice came from everywhere, the wind, the light, the ground beneath their feet. "Eli?" "Yeah," the voice said gently. "Still me. A little brighter than before." The Guardian closed her eyes. A tear of pure light rolled down her cheek. "You kept your promise," she whispered. "And you kept your faith," Eli replied. "Now it's time to share it." Across the galaxy, the signal spread. The core's pulse turned into waves, invisible but powerful, reaching every corner of the Empire. Ships stopped mid-flight. Cities flickered as walls of data turned into holograms of the same image, a human standing beside an alien, hands joined, light between them. Every being who saw it felt something stir, not fear, not awe, but memory. "We are not enemies," Eli's voice echoed through the stars. "We were never born to conquer, only to connect. Every race, every mind, we all carry the same spark." On distant worlds, soldiers lowered their weapons. Children pointed at the sky. Old scholars wept in silence. And on Wayfarer, the Guardian raised her head to the heavens. "He speaks like the first human once did," she murmured. "But this time, without pride." Raal stepped closer to the core, feeling the warmth on his face. "Eli, what happens now? Will you rebuild the old empire?" A soft laugh echoed through the air. "No. Empires fall. But kindness doesn't." The words carried weight beyond measure, as if the universe itself paused to listen. "You'll lead them, Raal," Eli continued. "Not through fear, but through memory. You've seen what happens when we forget who we are." Raal bowed his head. "I will remember." The Guardian turned toward the sky. Then the dawn begins. Above them, the core unfolded, not exploding, but blossoming. Petals of golden light stretched outward like a living star. Each petal became a thread, a bridge, connecting Wayfarer's orbit to other systems, other worlds once abandoned. The universe itself began to awaken. Ruins lit up. Dead moons glowed. Forgotten archives unlocked themselves. And everywhere, the same message appeared, written in a language every species could understand. Humanity was here. Humanity still is. Eli's voice grew softer, fading into the hum of the planet. "You'll find pieces of us everywhere, in your code, your bones, your dreams. We never left. We just waited for you to listen." The Guardian smiled, her expression filled with peace. "And now they will." She looked at Raal one last time. "Go. Tell them what you saw. Tell them the truth of the human who opened the sky." Raal nodded slowly, eyes glistening. "I will. His name will not be forgotten." He turned to his soldiers. "Leave no monument, no tomb. His memory lives where all can see, in every world that remembers kindness." As the fleet departed, the mountain dimmed once more. The light settled into calm, the core glowing like a sun at rest. The Guardian stood alone beside it, whispering softly into the wind. He fixed what the stars broke. The core pulsed, gentle as a heartbeat. "You helped me remember what it meant to be human." And for the first time in millennia, she smiled, not as a machine, not as a guardian, but as something alive. She looked to the horizon, where dawn spread across Wayfarer's frozen plains, golden and endless. "The dawn has opened," she whispered, "and the universe finally remembers the warmth of a human heart."